Manley with verticallessons.com. In this video, you're going to pick up one essential mindset and 3 simple steps to help you build massive momentum. In the last 18 months of my life, this is by far the most important new mindset that I've installed, and it's been something that I've shared with many audiences in the last 18 months and has had a serious impact on people's results. It's interesting how I came about this. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was describing this moment when I was climbing with my son on this route, and he took a fall while we were climbing, and I kind of just nonchalantly described it, and then I moved on, and my buddy said, "Wait a second, did you say he fell? What do you mean, you fall?" I said, "Yeah, of course we fall. We fall all the time when we're climbing. That's especially with most rock climbing specifically, and we expect to fall. We expect to fall, and we design systems and put systems in place so that when we fall, we just get moving quickly as possible." So what happens is there's this critical shift here, just at this moment I want you to recognize, and that is that when you expect to fall, the question changes. Then the question becomes not, well, if I fall at this thing I'm trying to do, then what? What happens or if I fail? The question becomes not what happens if I fall, it's when I fall, what will I do next? When I fall, what will I do next? So you shift the expectation to you're going to actually fall, not fail. Big difference. Failing climbing ultimately is dying. Failing in life, I think we use that word a lot when we probably should use a different word. I like the word fall because we fall down, and in climbing we fall. We trip up. We're human. So if we expect this to happen, then when it shows up, we hit it with a different perspective, and then we can get going as quickly as possible, moving along. Here's what I mean by that. When we climb, we fall, and we have a mechanism to stop the fall, and then we hang there on the wall, literally, and we call it working the route. We look for the move that we need to do, get a deep breath and recover, and then we restart as quickly as possible. I call this the master the art of the restart vertical lesson. The idea is that we don't wait and don't lower down. I mean, we might some days, but typically we get started right away. We hang out on the wall, we restart, we know we're going to fall, and we don't wait for the next major calendar event. This is a big shift I noticed in my personal life. I typically would wait for a calendar event. I call it the calendar restart. As an example, maybe you've had this situation. I'm going to ask you this. How many times have you had this happen? You're doing something on a regular basis. It's something that you need to do, a routine. Maybe it's exercise or eating right, and then you fall off the horse. I mean, it's going to happen. Right? You fall. And what I usually do is I say, well, let's say it's Tuesday. Well, I'll restart. I usually pick a Monday maybe. Next Monday I'll restart on this. Next week I'll get exercising again. I'll start eating right again or whatever it is. I put it off. And then often if it's past the middle of the month, I might even put it off till the next beginning of the month. So I might say, well, yeah. So October 1st, that's when I'll start. Yeah, well, I'll just wait till then. And then once I get into the third quarter, somewhere around October, November, I start putting things off and procrastinating into the first of the year. I'll just say, well, yeah, January 1st, that would be a good New Year's resolution. So we know how well those work. Don't even play around and try to trick yourself into thinking that restarting at some calendar restart is going to really work. The shift happens when you expect the fall, and then you restart immediately. When the sun comes up, restart. Boom, as soon as possible. The next possible moment, which probably that same day perhaps, or the next day at the very latest. Immediate restart. Don't wait around. If we didn't immediately restart when we fall climbing, we'd never get to the top of anything, really. We would just be hanging there on the side of the wall, and probably in some scenarios end up dying on the wall. So that just doesn't work. Master the art of the restart. Here's the 3 simple steps that will help you implement this. First of all, I think step 0 is just this awareness, the shift, the actual mindset, the expectation that you're going to fall. And that secondly, right behind that, when you fall, we're going to get right back on it. No calendar restart. I call it the vertical restart. Immediate restart as soon as possible. So step 1 is to actually recall a previous summit when you fall. As I think often as humans, we have a tendency to go there. We fall, and we say, oh, yeah, every time, and this is me. Every time I try to start this exercise thing or this running routine or whatever, I just don't like to run. I don't like to exercise. I have this BS story I tell myself, and I stop. So instead of going back to the last struggle, go to the last summit. Think of one time in your life recently where you had a success with something, a routine, even for a little while, and you stood on top of that personal mountain and you felt good about it. Think about it and go back and revisit what it felt like to be there on the summit, not the past struggle. Step 2 is to actually re-examine the next move and maybe the next couple of moves right in front of you. This, when we are climbing, is the only option we typically have. I mean, you can lean back a little bit, but usually it's the move right in front of you that's throwing you off. So we work, then move. We try to catch maybe the next couple moves, but we can't see too far up the wall to know exactly how we're going to solve what's ahead. So we just focus on the next few moves to get going again. Powerful momentum tool right there. So then the third step is perhaps the most important, maybe a close second to the mindset in itself, but the third step is to restart before you're ready completely, before you're 100%. Just get on with it. We never know for sure if the move we're going to try when we're on a wall is going to work. We can practice a little bit and try it a little bit and check out a couple holds. So for me, exercise, maybe I just pick out the clothes and just say, okay, I'm just going to go walk for 5 minutes, just a couple moves. What are the next few moves that will get you in action right there? And restart before you know exactly how it's all going to work out. Restart immediately before you're ready. So the first step, again, is to recall a previous summit. Number 2 is to actually re-examine the next few moves that you need to get going again. And the third step is to restart as soon as possible. Not a calendar restart, but a vertical restart as soon as possible, or when the sun comes up the next day. Get on it. Try this out. Master the art of the restart. I promise you this is worth it. It's had some massive impact in my personal life. I look forward to connecting with you any way I can support you. Thank you for listening to this, and please share this with as many people as you can if you think it might make a difference. Thanks. So here's the crux question for you. What do you need to restart? For me, it's exercise. And this is a common theme for me. I need to restart my exercise routine. And I would like to hear from you. Which item do you need to restart in your life? Share that on the comments below or reach out to me. I would love to hear what you're committed to restarting as soon as possible.